10,
9,
8,
7, 6,
5,
4, 3,
2.
1.
Oh, hey, Georgie, are you doing yoga?
Oh, hey, Jane. Yeah, I was just doing my morning flow. I find it's a really helpful way for me to start my day.
Ooh, that's cool, Georgie. That sounds very relaxing.
Oh, it sure is. I do the downward facing dog, I do the tree pose, and my favorite one, the floppy bacon.
Floppy bacon? I've never heard of that pose before.
Oh, really? Well, what you do is, I love bacon, so you really just want to embody what it means to be the bacon. You lie on the ground like bacon in a pan, you breathe in, and when you breathe out, you become all floppy like bacon and relaxed.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, it's my favorite one. Some other exercises are kind of hard for me, but I found that yoga works really well.
That's okay, Georgie. Sometimes our bodies are better at doing other things than what maybe we can't do or what other people can do with their bodies. But you know what? This episode, we get to talk about the diversity about our beautiful and made in the image of God bodies.
Wow, amazing. I can't wait to learn more. Let's get started on this 8th episode of the Unnamed Kids Show.
Woo!
Woo! Me, 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 me. I would like to sing for you, Ricky, Cecilia, and Andrew, a little birthday song. If you feel so inclined, please join and sing along. If you can sing it very sweetly with kindness in your heart. But if you sing too loudly, you may let out a burp. Eep. Okay. The main part goes like this. Happy birthday! Woo-hoo! It's your birthday! Happy birthday!
Hello, everyone. So today, Mr. Rabbit is cutting in once again. So I wanted to talk to you all about sensations, whether they're sensations of sadness or anger or joy, but they're all coming in like waves. Some come crashing in real sudden, and then some gently creep up from behind. Those are the type of sensations we'll be talking about today. We might not be able to stop the waves or the sensations from coming, but if we pay close attention to these sensations and what's happening to our bodies, we can make sure that we don't completely knock ourselves down when the sensations come. Mr. Rabbit? Okay. I'm just wondering if you have had any situations where you had different types of sensations happening to you. Well, Mr. Rabbit has said to me that he has had different sensations of feeling some sense of anxiety when I leave him. But when I come back, he's always extremely happy. So we're kind of learning how to overcome that together. One thing I can say that has helped us not be knocked over by these big sensations or these big waves is to remember to take deep breaths in and take deep breaths out. So if you want to make it fun, kids, taking a deep breath in could be like, and then breathing out. Huh? Did you like that? Okay, well, if you don't like breathing out like a horse, you don't have to. You could just take a nice, warm, deep breath out, just calmly like I normally do. But either way, it works, right? So you should practice some breathing exercises. Me and Mr. Rabbit practice a few breathing exercises before we get on so we don't seem so nervous or get the little tingling butterflies in our stomach. That's what we do. So, kids, parents, these sensations, they're gonna come. But anytime they do come, just take your time, allow the sensations to come. It doesn't matter if it's anger, it doesn't matter if it's happiness, allow it to come, take in deep breaths, breathe out deep breaths. And if you wanna make it fun, this probably will help if you're frustrated and upset to breathe out like a horse. It might help. What do you think, Mr. Rabbit? Mr. Rabbit says he doesn't really want to breathe out like a horse. Okay, me either. But whatever works for you, whatever is going to help you get centered, whatever is going to bring you back to that happy place, whether it's prayer, whether it's meditation, whether it's talking to your parents, whether it's talking to your best friend, do that, because it's going to help you get back to that happy place that you need to be in. And if you need to be upset, if you need to be frustrated, if you need to be upset for a little while, it's okay to do that too. But try to eventually get back to your own happy place, because remember, you can control your own happiness. Right, Mr. Rabbit? That's right. Mr. Rabbit says you do control your own happiness. So get back to that happy place. We love you, and we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.
Hi families, so just a reminder, our theme comes from Matthew 9:14, where it says, Jesus said, "Let the little children come to me, don't keep them away. The kingdom of heaven belongs to people like them." This is such a great reminder that children are so important to Jesus and to God, and that no matter what you enjoy, what you like to do, what you look like, Jesus still loves you and cares about you.
Hi, I'm George, and today we're going to be reading Emmanuel's Dream by Lori Ann Thompson and Sean Qualls. In Ghana, West Africa, a baby boy was born. 2 bright eyes blinked in the light, 2 healthy lungs let out a powerful cry, 2 tiny fists opened and closed, but only 1 strong leg kicked. Most people thought he would be useless, or worse, a curse. His father left, never to return. But his mother had faith. Her name was Comfort, and she named her first child Emmanuel, meaning God is with us. As Emmanuel grew, Mama Comfort told him he could have anything, but he would have to get it for himself. He learned to crawl and hop, to fetch water and climb coconut trees. He even shined shoes to earn money. Most kids with disabilities couldn't go to school. Still, Emmanuel's mother carried him there until one day she said, "You are too heavy." From then on, Emmanuel hopped to school and back, 2 miles each way, on 1 leg, by himself. At first, nobody would play with him, so Emmanuel saved his money and bought something none of his classmates had, a brand new soccer ball. Of course, he would share it, if he could play too. Lunging and spinning on crutches his grandmother had found for him, and kicking the ball with his good left foot, Emmanuel earned their respect. His new friends sometimes used their lunch money to rent bikes. Would Emmanuel be able to join them? His friend Goodwin pushed him fast so he could balance. Over and over again, Emmanuel fell hard, but finally, he rode. When Emmanuel was 13, Mama Comfort got very sick. She could no longer sell vegetables at the market, and Emmanuel's sister and brother were too little to work. He would have to support them. Against his mother's wishes, Emmanuel snuck out and boarded a midnight train to the bustling city of Accra, 150 miles away, alone. He didn't know it then, but it would be 2 years before he saw his family again. Emmanuel arrived full of hope. There were so many people, but no one would hire him. Shopkeepers and restaurant owners told him to go out and beg like other disabled people did. Emmanuel refused. Finally, a food stand owner offered him a job and a place to live. When Emmanuel wasn't serving drinks, he kept busy shining shoes. He earned money and sent it home. One morning, when Emmanuel went to buy shoe-shining supplies, the shopkeeper thought he was there to beg and scolded him. Insulted, Emmanuel slammed his money down on the counter. The shopkeeper apologized, but Emmanuel would never forget. When Mama Comfort grew sicker, Emmanuel went home to be with her. From her bed on Christmas Eve, she told her son, "Be respectful, take care of your family, don't ever beg, and don't give up." By the next morning, Emmanuel's beloved mother was dead. He was heartbroken, but he knew her last words had been a gift. He would honor them by showing everyone that being disabled does not mean being unable. It was a big dream, but Emmanuel had a plan. Emmanuel had a sharp mind, a bold heart, and 1 strong leg. All he needed was a bike. At first, no one would help. They thought his plan to bicycle around Ghana was impossible. Then Emmanuel wrote to the Challenged Athletes Foundation, all the way in San Diego, California. They sent him a bike, plus a helmet, shorts, socks, and gloves. Emmanuel started training for the long ride. He persuaded the king of his region to give him a royal blessing.
He went door to door asking for additional support. Finally, he hired a taxi to follow him with drinking water, a camera, and his best friends. Then Emmanuel tied his right leg to the bike's frame, jammed his left foot into a flip-flop attached to the pedal, and rode. Emmanuel pedaled through the bustling city of Accra. He pedaled through rainforests, over rolling hills, and across wide, muddy rivers. He pedaled past oudum forests and plantain farms and through the market city of Kumasi. He pedaled as trucks roared past on the narrow highways and wild animals stalked his thoughts. He pedaled through vast grasslands and into the ancient city of Tamale. He rode up, down, across, and around his country, proudly wearing the colors of its flag on a shirt printed with the words, the Pozo, or the disabled person. Along the way, Emmanuel talked to those with physical challenges and those without, to poor farm workers and wealthy landowners, to religious leaders, government officials, and reporters. He wanted everyone to see him and his disability. He wanted everyone to hear him and his message. The farther Emmanuel rode, the more attention he got. Children cheered, able-bodied adults ran or rode along with him. People with disabilities left their homes and came outside, some for the very first time. The young man once thought of as cursed was becoming a national hero. He completed his astounding journey, pedaling south to the sea and back up to Accra, nearly 400 miles in just 10 days. But Emmanuel's success goes even further than that. He proved that one leg is enough to do great things, and one person is enough to change the world. The end. That was Emmanuel's Dream by Lori Ann Thompson and Sean Qualls. Andrew.
Hey, Georgie.
Oh my goodness, Andrew.
Yeah.
Andrew.
What's going on?
Well, Mr. George was reading this book
Yeah.
called Emmanuel's Dream.
Okay.
And I was listening with my super good listening ears, you know? And wow, that story was amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm not really familiar with that story. What's it about?
Well, Emmanuel, first off, I think we would be really good friends. Anyways, he has one leg and he biked about 400 miles all around his home country of Ghana. It's crazy.
Wow.
And awesome.
400 miles is a lot. That's really impressive.
Yeah, it was, Andrew. And, you know, I was wondering, though, and maybe, is it okay for me to ask, why is Emmanuel born in a different way than you or maybe some other kids that I've met?
Oh, yeah, it's okay to ask that, Georgie. I appreciate your curiosity. Well, it's kind of like we've been talking about. You know, when God created everything, there's all sorts of different kinds, right? There's different kind of plants and birds, and even think about animals. There's different kind of animals, but even with dogs, there's different kind of dogs. But even with like golden retrievers, like all the different golden retrievers look different sizes and all that, and it's the same for humans as well.
Oh, well, you know, that does make sense. But sometimes, you know, it just doesn't seem fair. Like, Emmanuel's life seemed a lot harder than mine or maybe even yours because of how he was made.
Oh, sure. I think maybe there's some truth to that, Georgie, but really there's no one way to be, right? There's no one way to look, there's no one way to live, or like, think about last week. We watched that video about breakfasts all around the world.
Oh, yes, and you know, I love my bacon, but those dumplings look so good, and I would eat dumplings for breakfast any day.
I have done that. But even right there, you see, there's no one way to eat breakfast, right? And the same goes with like our passions and the things we like to do and the way we're made, and even with moving, how we move about this world. There's no one way, right? And no one way is better or more right than any other way. It just is the way it is, and each way is enough.
Just is. And each way's enough. I really like that, Andrew.
Yeah, and when God created the world, he had a bigger picture in mind, right? Like with all the diversity of colors and languages and body types and ways of moving, it works. Like even in creation, diversity helps us flourish.
Oh, diversity. We learned that word last week with Jane.
Yeah, you sure did. Basically, it's celebrating the variety of all things in our day-to-day lives.
You know, I'm still really inspired by Emmanuel's story.
Nice.
I'm gonna go try and write him a letter and see if we can have a Zoom hangout later.
That's a great idea.
Hey, Andrew,
Yeah, Georgie.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
Can you ride a bicycle?
Yeah, I sure can. Actually, I really like to ride my bike. One time after college, I actually rode my bike across the country with a few friends.
What? That sounds so cool. That's
Thank
gotta be
you.
like hundreds of miles.
Yeah, actually, we ended up going about 4,000 miles.
4,000 miles? That's
Yeah.
so many miles, Andrew.
It was a
so
lot.
much biking.
Yes, it was a lot.
Andrew, can you tell me how you did it?
You mean like how we planned the trip or like where we went?
Or like how you ride a bicycle?
Oh,
I don't know how.
That's fine, Georgie. I could talk you through how to ride a bike.
Well, it's just that I'm not that confident that I'll be able to learn how to ride a bike or if I even have the right body to do it because I'm a puppet.
Oh, sure, Georgie. Well, I think it's one of those things. It's if you really want to do it, there's a way to make it happen, right? Actually, I saw a video not too long ago that really showcases this idea of being able to do the things we want to do. Do you want to watch it?
Yeah, let's check it out.
All right, let's watch it right now.
Yes, I can, suddenly, yes, I can. Gee, I'm afraid to go on has turned into, yes, I can. Take a look, what do you see? 133 pounds of confidence, me. Got the feeling I can do anything, yes, I can. Something that sings in my blood is telling me, yes, I can. I was just born today, I can go all the way, yes, I can. 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 Hey, yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can! Are you ready? I can climb Everest. Yes, I can. I can fight here all night and never rest. Yes, I can. I was just born today. I can go all the way. Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Wow, that was amazing and beautiful and inspiring.
Yeah, I think so too, Georgie. Like all people were made unique and beautiful and different in God's image. And, it doesn't matter what we look like or how we move. We're all just trying to live out our passions, right? And we move through the world differently and no one way is better than another.
That's pretty amazing, Andrew. And, I've never really thought about it that way before. My arms are kind of floppy and, I have a hard time grabbing onto things, but I figure it out in my own special puppet way.
You sure do, Georgie.
And you know what? Even if I could, I don't think that I would go off some of those big jumps like some of the bikers in that video. That looked intense. Mad props and skills.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to do that either. Like, amazing people come in all shapes and sizes and abilities. It doesn't matter, right? What we look like or how we move around. In fact, there's another amazing person I want you to meet. She's one of the high school seniors here at church. Her name's Lily, and she's actually on the board for the Special Olympics. And she's going to come and visit, so why don't you say hi to her?
Oh, well, that sounds incredible. I'm going to go do that right now.
Great.
Hey there, Lily.
Hey, Georgie.
How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Say, Andrew just showed me this video called Yes, I Can about the Paralympics in Rio. Now, he told me also that you're on the board of the Special Olympics here in Minnesota. That's awesome.
Thanks, Georgie. I actually heard about the Board of Special Olympics last year working with my buddy Laura. Laura lives with a disability, and it sounded like something I'd be interested in. So I applied and I got accepted. So now I support all of Minnesota high schools' Unified programs. Unified is where we work on the inclusion and integration of special education students so they have a more normal high school experience.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. Hey, Lily, I was wondering, are there things that, we can do at home to help people who are different from us? Like, for me, that's everyone, because I'm a puppet. But I was wondering, I had never even heard about the Special Olympics or the Unified program before this.
Totally, Georgie. That's such a good question. At home, we can practice using person-first language. Person first is where you put the person before their disability. An example is saying, my friend from school with a disability, instead of saying, my disabled friend. Or another thing you could do at home is including others, especially if they look like they're being left out at lunch or recess.
That makes a lot of sense. Thanks so much, Lily, for coming in and sharing today.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Georgie.
See ya.
Bye.
Hi, families. So I hope you learned something new today. And to close out in prayer, we actually have a new way to pray today. So a lot of times people maybe pray with motions, maybe people pray through song, but today we are going to try a full body prayer where we have the prayer and then we have some motions to go along with it. So I will walk you through them, so don't worry. I'm also still learning them, so bear with me. But our first line says, we look to you, God. And when we say that, we'll look up to God. And then the second line says, and praise your name. So you'll raise your arms and kind of shake your hands like you're praising God. And then the next line says, show us your love. Well, you will hug your arms like this. And then the last line says, and help us to pray. So you'll fold your hands and kind of bow your head like you're about to pray. And then the last one is just amen. And so this has its own sign in American Sign Language where you'll hold out your palm like this. Your other hand will be like you're giving a high five. And then you'll move slowly in, turn your hand into a thumbs up, and then tap your palm and kind of bounce it off. So all in one motion will be amen, like that. So I'll go through it slowly all at once, and I'll do it one more time if you want to practice and join with me. So one time all together, we look to you, God, and praise your name. Show us your love and help us to pray. Amen. And I'll do it one more time, and you can try with me. We look to you, God, and praise your name. Show us your love and help us to pray. Amen.